GGRC.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of GGRC. I'm RC, and this little warm furry critter is Sushi. Today we're going to be checking out a game called Frostpunk. Now this game actually came out a few months ago. I believe it was in April, and it was a game that was like on my radar. It was definitely something that I was interested in checking out, but these games are not normally my type of game. And I must say, after playing this a little bit over the past couple of nights, it's actually really grown on me. So the reason why I picked this up, you know, these type of civilization type games, it's a civilization builder with lots of random things that happen during it. We'll get into that in just a second. But the reason why I picked it up actually is because Amazon had a deal going for a physical version of it for 18 bucks. So, you know, I got this wonderful case here. I haven't bought a physical PC game in forever. But the main reason why I bought it physical is because not only did I get a Steam code with it, but they also have this wonderful art book called New London, The Art of Frostpunk, 1887. And it features a lot of great character and environmental landscape artwork in this. Just, you know, I don't know how well you can actually see this in the small window down here that we're looking. But the artist, I don't know who actually created all this art or who was involved. But they did an amazing job. For anybody who is a fan of art books or art in games, there is some really wonderful stuff in this book. And I figured for $18 alone to get the game plus the art book, I was in. But regardless, I was very pleasantly surprised because I actually am digging this game. So without further ado, let's jump into it so you guys can get an idea of what this is. So as I mentioned, this is sort of a civilization-esque, you know, home builder. You play as I suppose, like, yeah, they say here London refugees. You play a group of people who are escaping London from the cold. Now, it gets like minus 40 in these areas. You know, it gets really, really cold. And the whole idea is that you are trying to survive this Arctic tundra all the while with this, like, gigantic heating generator. And you're trying to keep everybody alive as best as you can and keep them happy, which is what I found to be a very, very difficult job. This game is meant to be hard. This is like a hardcore civilization style PC game. So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're getting here. You actually have the option of creating a new home. You can select different scenarios. I haven't actually played through the whole of the main story, and the reason that is because it's tough. I played this game for 2 hours and I ended up losing at the end of it, because you can lose, and I don't want to spoil, you know, what happens when you lose at the end of it, but it's pretty horrific and scary. Like, this game is a very scary game when you realize, like, the things that are going on with real people. Not scary in the whole, like, fictional, you know, mythical monster type of way, but scary in that, like, if this really happened, man, this would be a very difficult thing to live through, you know? This seems like a game that would have been a really good comic book series, too. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to start a new home, because I lost my one last night, and we're going to, you know, play this for, you know, a little while here, so that way you guys can get an idea of what we're dealing with here. So let's start a new home. And even though I'm playing this game during the summertime, this feels like one of those games that you're going to want to boot up every now and then during the winter just to feel the chill, you know? But even during the summer, I'm kind of sitting here like, ugh, you know? Brr. But yeah, like I said, these types of games don't really appeal to me all that much. When I play them, I find them to be, you know, they're very board game-ish, you know? And I really like board games, but a lot of times I'm like, man, if I'm going to play a board game, I'm going to play a board game, you know? I'm not always the biggest fan of the way it's presented in a video game, but here we go.
No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost.
Oh no, they froze the ladybug.
Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, traces of humanity.
Really like the way the story is presented here too. The art is really nice, but also it really gives you a great idea of what these people are going through. Very scary stuff. Nuclear winter, everybody. No thanks.
We bid farewell to plenty. And for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey. And we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
And here we are, building the last city on Earth. So here we are, a new home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. So, there's a lot to this game. So when we get into this, if you've played this before, please be kind, because I played a total of 2 hours of this game, so I don't know everything. I only know what I've experienced so far. So we're going to go into this fresh, see how far we get. I don't think we're going to play through a whole thing in this video here, but at least give you a really good taste of what this game has to offer. So, we have to survive. So you basically play like the mayor or the governor or like the overseer of this city, and you're trying your damnedest to keep everybody alive and happy. And man, is it tough. So here they do give you tutorials though, in case you're a little bit lost. So basically they start you off and say, hey, you need to stockpile some coal and start a generator, and start the generator. So the generator is your most important thing. That is what is generating the heat for your city. And if that is not running, everybody is going to freeze to death. That's not a good thing. So what we want to do, you can see there's our generator in the middle here. This is our stockpile here. You can see we have some wood, we have some raw food, but we have no coal. So we need to locate some coal. Here's some. And we need to send some workers out to get coal immediately. And you can zoom in here. You can spin around. You can actually see them plowing through the snow to get over to the coal. Now, each coal pile here can only house so many people, so you want to try to send as many workers out as you can to get coal. And the other thing you also want to get is wood, so we're going to send some out to get wood crates as well. Throw a few engineers in this group here too. Now, the difference between workers and engineers, because that's who you can send out, is workers and engineers, is that the engineers are going to be the ones who are working in your medical tents. They're going to be researching new things that your city can do. The workers literally are just the guys that go out and work. They're sort of like the blue-collar guys, you know. So here we are. We're starting a brand new day. Here they are marching through the snow to get to the coal. And here they are marching through the snow to get to the wood. And they're going to branch off here and head over to the steel as well. And I got these guys heading up to the coal. So, as you can see up here, my coal and trees, wood and steel and everything is actually dictated up here in the top. I know these are very small numbers, so I apologize if it's hard to see. But you can see the coal during work hours. It actually keeps counting up as you're collecting coal. You can also see here I have 80 homeless. So at this point, we also got to start building. I only know this from my previous playthrough. So we got to start getting some tents in here. So if we have 80 homeless, each one houses 10, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'll just build 4 for now, because that's all I have. That's the amount I have wood for at the moment, anyway. So when you click on these, you'll see that they start going under construction. You get a progress bar. Each one is going to kind of take its turn being built here with however many workers you have available. So if you've used up all your workers to collect coal and do other things, then they're not going to be available to build. So you're playing a lot of sort of juggling your workers and engineers to make sure that things happen in your city. It could get pretty wild. Let's see. The generator's off right now. We need 6 coal to run this on. We're currently at almost 200. We need to get this thing running ASAP. So, let's see. We're at 178. Maybe we'll wait till 200 to get it going, because the coal consumption on this thing is pretty big. See, we're almost there. 190, 191. There we go. Let's turn it on. There we have heat. Now, every time you do something, you're also going to get these pop-ups up here. These will let you know how to do different things, obviously. So, if you're a little lost like me, this is a great game, a great entry-level game into one of these. It's a game that has a lot of complex layers to it, but they're able to take you back here and explain a lot of the different things here. So, you can get everything from camera controls to how to deal with your resources and your workforce, the fact that you need raw food to make real food. You could actually control time too, so if time is moving too slow for you in real time, you could actually speed it up double time or triple time, which is helpful. And of course you have temperatures here too. So you can actually click on any of these items here and it'll give you a little temperature gauge, and of course you could turn on the temperature overlay here so you can see what is hot. So anything red or orange is usually going to be good. That's, you know, those are things that your populace can deal with, red and orange. But when it gets down to, you know, blue and purple, that's when they're going to start complaining that it's too cold. So it's letting you know that the generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. So keep that in mind. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. There's no city if we starve to death, so we got to make sure that we're building a hunter's hut so that way they can go out at night and hunt, which is something I completely forgot about because I was sort of preoccupied there with getting them taken care of with their tents and shelter and everything like that. We only need 20 wood to build this, so hopefully we'll get one more here before quitting time so we can build a hunter's lodge or a hunter's hut. And yep, we got 20. Okay, great. So we'll put the hunter's hut there. And now we're officially out of wood. And it's almost quitting time for these guys. So these guys only work, I believe, like a 10-hour day, 12-hour day, something like that. So they start at 8 or 9 in the morning, and then they'll go for, you know, 10 to 12 hours, and then they have free time. They can go to sleep, whatever it is, you know. Which is probably important. You kind of need sleep when you're dealing with these harsh conditions and everything. So as of right now, we don't have much going on. Here we go, hunters. So it's going to let you know what you could do with the hunters. Now the hunters actually gather food at night. So they're the ones who actually work the vampire midnight hours while everybody else is sleeping. So they're gathering food for the next day for everybody. Which of course is always important, right? So you can see our homeless count is actually going down as these tents are being built here, so that is good. And see their temperature gauge here is at red. They're comfortable, which is great. And of course we can pull back, we can see, okay, all these are red, this is all orange. So far everything's hunky-dory. We just gotta make sure we get all the tents we need built up here. Now, at some point in the future, too, you actually get a hot air balloon where you could send scouts out to go find other people and other civilizations and stuff like that. So the worlds definitely branch out from where you are right here. So this really is sort of a mix between a civilization game and a tycoon game. So if you're into like Zoo Tycoon or any other tycoon games like that, this might be one that fits your fancy, especially considering they put in a lot of these tutorial things here to help you out. Definitely helps me out quite a bit. So one of the things you're actually looking for is you want to keep your hope up, and you want to keep your discontent down. Right now my discontent is rising because I have a lack of shelter. It's because all the tents have not been built yet. We're waiting to actually... let's see, we can build another tent here. And we're out of wood again. So they'll collect more wood in the morning. And they will construct at night, even though this is their free time. So it's a good time to probably build if you need stuff. But you want to make sure if you have your discontent rising a lot, you want to mouse over that and see what the actual issue is. Like it says here, there's a lack of shelter. So we want to make sure that we keeping these people under a roof, because... damn, is it cold. So the hunter's hut is inoperative. It requires at least one worker, so let's get some workers in there so they can hunt for food. And actually what we're going to do is we are going to pull one from that coal mine there. We'll pull 2 from that one there. You want to have as many hunters in the hut going as you can because food is very, very important. I found my last playthrough that I was losing out on food a lot, so that was not good. All right, we are still during free time here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fast forward time here till the next morning. There we go. You see these guys going out in the middle of the night here through the snow? Those guys are actually going out to hunt and get food, which I love that little animation. They just like trudge through the snow to find food, which is really funny. So another thing that does pop up is illness. Now, people will get frostbite, they will get sick. That's why we need to, in addition to building places for you know, them to cook and hunt and everything like that, you also got to make sure you have your medical wing built too, to make sure that everybody's staying healthy, which can be tougher than it sounds. Because a lot of people are going to get very sick and they're gonna get the frostbite. It's just, there's no way around it here. We're going to fast forward again until the morning. Alright, so we're going to need to take, before we fast forward here, we got the steel wreckage here. Wasn't somebody collecting steel? The other thing is you can actually zoom out, way out, and you can see where you have your workers actually set up at. So we have them at coal. For some reason it's not showing on the wood crate pile over here. I'm not sure why that is. But I didn't have anybody on steel. I thought maybe I did. There we go. So if you go over your max here, you can actually see where people are at. Is that also a wood pile or is that steel? Wood crates. It says I have 9 on that one. Is that true? No. 15 out of 15, yeah, for steel. So we're going to pull a few of these guys off here because we don't exactly need them just yet. And we're going to put them on the... Where did the wood pile go? Here we go. We're going to put them on this wood pile because we absolutely need more wood to stay alive and keep going. We're going to fast forward here. Free time is now work time.
Work time. Get back to work.
As you can hear the guy telling everybody to get back to work. Alright, we have enough to build another tent. Let's get everybody housed here. And I know we're out of wood, but don't worry. So we're going to get more wood, and then we're going to build the cookhouse. So let's get that built real quick. And then we have to build the, let's see, where is it? Health, medical post. So we need 25 wood for that. So let's fast forward to get 25 wood. And there's 25. Let's get our medical post up. There we go. So you might be thinking like, okay, you've completely filled up your outer ring here with tents and a medical wing and, you know, the cookhouse and everything like that. How in the hell are you going to build more? Believe me, there are a lot of other things you can build here too. So what you're going to actually end up doing, and we'll do that once we actually get to our first new thing that we're going to build. But between any of these tents or anything like that, you actually have the option of building this green path. And what this path does is it extends the generator out and connects the town, so that way you can actually build other things too, which is really, really important. You're going to want to make sure you have that stuff. Alright, where's the steel wood? So this is one of the things for me, is that I feel like I continually lose track of like where things are at here and there every once in a while. But I'm going to keep these guys all on wood and coal for right now because we really need that stuff. And once this cookhouse is built, we're going to need to put somebody in the cookhouse. And we're going to need to put engineers in the medical post. Luckily, we've only got one sick at the moment. When you mouse over sick, it actually tells you how many of them are gravely ill, which is important to know. But here we go. People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout the Frostlands. So the beacon is actually what's going to help you find other people, which is pretty cool. And sometimes you get these pop-ups here too, and you'll see that this little yellow line, as soon as this keeps diminishing around the circle here, when that is gone, that means you can't click on it anymore. But we're going to click on it now. It's saying here, a word of advice, workers are needed. There's so much to do, not enough hands to do it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put our children to work. So you actually have the option of opening up what's called the Book of Laws, and you can sign certain laws into law, basically, that people have to uphold. So you can actually make it so that way you sign children up to do labor if you don't have enough, regular workers to do things. Right now we're doing okay, but the game tempts you to do these kind of things. Now there are, of course, penalties if you do this kind of thing. It says here, the blue is obviously, which is good. Children can work in safe workplaces, great. But hope is going to fall, and children workers can be injured in accidents, so they can be injured more frequently. But of course, if we set up children's shelters, you're going to get a lot more good out of that. And with that, you're going to say, it says that hope will rise. You're providing all children with a place in a child's shelter. It gives them a permanent hope bonus, which is good. But on the downside, you'd have to build a children's shelter. So none of these laws we actually have to sign in right now if we don't feel the need to. But this was one that I used quite a bit in my last playthrough. It was the emergency shift. I think I ended up using it 3 times, which is what drove the people to go against me. But what it does is it forces the workers to work for 24 hours straight. Yeesh. Who wants that, right? But you do what you got to do, right? All right, so that's built. We're gonna, since it's free time right now. Oh, we got another message here. No roof over our heads. Captain, people are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They're falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. We better do something. I'm gonna provide shelter for everyone, so I'm gonna actually hit this one right now. We got enough. We only have 20 that need a home, so let's build another tent. So that quest I just accepted, you want to actually be very careful accepting these quests, because if you accept the quests, you have to make sure you do them, because if you don't, discontent will rise quite a bit. Now you see when I placed that, it was actually red, so they're going to build this, but no one's going to live in it until it's actually connected via road. So we want to grab the road here, we want to do this, and you'll see now that the one we just built that was red will be outlined in green, because now the road is touching it. So there you have it. So they'll build a road there, they'll build that. And let's see, who else can we pull off? That's wood crates. These are 15 out of 15. So let's get a couple engineers off of this, and let's get a couple workers off of that. We want to put 2 workers in the cookhouse, and we want to put 3 engineers in the medical post so they can take care of the sick people. Let's see, we got another request here in the middle. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree with everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. So they're just letting you know, hey, just because the people ask for it doesn't mean you have to do it exactly how they want you to do it. You're basically playing politics here. People are going to protest and ask for certain things. And if you have another idea to help solve the problem, you could actually do it that way, which is kind of cool. But of course, you could always be like a bad ruler and not help people at all. So, okay, so that one's being built. The road looks like it's already been built. So once this is built, that should house everybody. We'll see in just a moment here. So we got to build a workshop, build a beacon, and rescue survivors from our lost expedition. So that'll be pretty fun to show off, actually, I think. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit here. And it looks like we need to build one more tent. So, let's build a road going this way. And we're actually going to extend it a little further because we're going to end up building ourselves a workshop and everything else as well here. So, where this road actually connected right here from the generator, you can see it, I now extended it here. You can see it's being built. So that road will now go all around. What is cool though is that with the road you can actually build between the tents and everything too. So if you have a really tight space, if you actually manage to fit all of your stuff in a perfect circle, you can actually build the streets between any tents you want to extend the road out. So that's helpful to know. And let's see, we got to build one more tent, but we got to wait till morning until we get more wood. So let's fast forward here until we get some more wood, and then we'll build the last set of tents here. In this set of tents, we're down to orange. Very low risk of getting ill. It's livable. So on this circle here, people are still going to be safe to live there. Now, the further you build out, the more you actually have to upgrade your generator to make sure it's, you know, it's hot enough to actually heat everything as it goes out. You're also going to be able to build sub-generators that can, you know, heat up certain portions of the city. So if you don't, you know, have enough heat generating from the main generator, you can build these little ones it connects to, and that'll heat portions, which is kind of cool. All right, let's see. We're still in free time here. Let's keep fast forwarding. We are now in work time, and we got 10 trees. So let's build our next set of tents here, and that should house just about everybody. Now you notice that the food gauge up in the top right here actually is changing now too. The cookhouse is actually taking the raw food and turning it into food rations that everybody can eat. So they're keeping everybody well fed, which is important. Everything you do in this game feels like it has some sort of importance to it, which is really, really cool. Alright, so we should probably get to building our next thing here. But actually we need more wood. The wood is the important thing we need. We need to pull some guys off of coal and get back to wood. Because we have almost 500 coal. We were doing really good with the coal. But we need the wood. Alright, let's see. Can we build something now? We get a gathering post. Let's see, tech. We need a workshop. That was in there. Yep, workshop and a beacon. So let's get that workshop up. But we'll build that there. And while we're at it, we might as well extend the road out a couple here, just to get a head start on it. So yeah, wood is the resource that I find I lose out on the most quickly. But you do have the option of building a sawmill later in the game out by these old trees here, and they will bust these trees up so that way you'll get wood a lot faster. It's crazy. This game just has so many moving parts and everything. It's insane. Oh, we got people who are hungry. No one's starving, but they're hungry. I don't know why they're hungry. We have tons of food. So they shouldn't be starving. Unless those are workers, I don't know. But we got tons of food rations up here. Alright, the workshop is under construction. The tents... It's waiting for workers. I'm not sure why, but they jumped over to the workshop instead of the tents. So you're going to notice that I have this quest called Provide Shelter. I accepted that a day ago or whatever it was. I have 1 day and 4 hours left to finish it. If you scroll over it, it tells you. But there's also a little meter above it. Right now it's white, which means I still have plenty of time to finish it. But it slowly keeps getting down, 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 down. And once it hits red, that's when things are going to be, you know, pretty much not so good. Not so good. That's when the town starts getting really mad and the discontent goes up. But I would say as of right now, we're doing pretty good. I'm not sure why people are going hungry, though. We got plenty of food. That's what doesn't make any sense to me. I'm actually going to close the tutorial here. There we go. Get that out of the way there. Food, wood crates have depleted. Okay. Well, I guess that means that they'll finish the construction on this at least a little bit quicker, which is good. We got coal. Coal. So all these piles of wood crates and coal and steel and everything will eventually deplete. So that is something to keep in mind when you are getting everything built and taken care of and everything, because you know, you're going to have to make sure that you keep people busy, but also make sure that you keep up on your research so that way you can build the right things you need at the right times. If we deplete all the wood crate piles, we're going to need that sawmill in place to kill the trees, you know? So right there it says, everyone feels relieved with a roof, even a flapping one over their heads, and hope rises. So we finished that quest, which feels good. But we do have another pile of wood crates over here, so let's put those guys up on that one. And we'll put a couple of engineers on there as well. Another coal pile has depleted now too. but we're at free time, so right now I have a chance to actually decide where I want to put people. Let's put a few here, and let's actually put more on this wood crate pile here. Perfect. The workshop is now complete. Alright, so what can we build now? That's the workshop. So within the workshop, this is where you can actually do the research. You have to employ a couple of engineers, and when we add research here, we can actually research a lot of different things, and this is what helps the town the most. So under heating, this is where you can make the mini steam hubs. You can make these little, steam heaters all over the place if you need to keep certain parts of your city heated, and if you're having a hard time doing that with your main heater, that's what that's going to do. I haven't gotten to that point yet because I lost terribly in my first game, and I never had the chance to actually use these yet. But I'm assuming those are really going to be coming in handy once your town expands out 4 or 5 rows or whatever, which it probably will. There's the beacon, which we are actually going to pick right now. But I just wanted to show some of these other things here. You can actually research faster gathering, so that way during the day they will gather up resources way quicker. But here's your coal thumper, which will help you gather coal from the earth underneath. Here's the sawmill, which will help you get wood from the frozen trees and everything. And of course, you can upgrade your hunters too, which will help them hunt better and get more food. So we're going to do the beacon first because that's part of our quest. So let's go ahead and start research on that. And I believe the research only takes place during the day, during work hours. So we're going to have to wait until tomorrow till we can build the beacon. But for some reason, we still have 11 people hungry, even though we have plenty of food. Just don't understand what's going on here. But it looks like the hunters are heading out for their nightly hunt here. So with that, let me show you here. If you go to save game, you can actually save at any point you want. If you're in the game at some point where you're 20 minutes in, but you got to go do something, you're like, oh, I'm on a really good roll here. You can actually do a new save file, and we'll just call this one GGRC. Save. That way we know it's our GGRC game. So you could save and load at any point in the game, and it saves exactly where you left off. So there we are, GGRC, about 23 minutes in. And we will close that. Now, it was letting me know right there that the weather does change. Up here, this is your calendar and your weather forecast. So we're on day 3 right now, and it's saying in just a few hours the temperature is going to drop significantly 2 levels, so we got to be very careful. And then a few hours later it's going to rise up 1 level. So again, things to keep your eye on, because there's lots. We have 1 hungry, even though we have plenty of food, but I have no discontent. I haven't had that in this game yet. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, let's go ahead and fast forward time, because there's nothing else going to happen at night that we need to do here. Things are going to be relatively safe. Again, not sure why people are going hungry. Guys, if you're hungry, go get some food. We have 89 food rations. Go eat. You're starving yourself. You're on a new diet or something. That's not my issue. I mean, live your life how you want, but if you're hungry, go eat. That's what I say. All right, speed up until work time. And that should be... Oh, we got discontent. What do we get that for? Cold at home, cold at work. Who's cold? Oh, that would be why. Now, that's because the weather dropped down to 2 points there. So now theirs is dropped down to cold, and theirs is dropped down to chilly. So even people closest to the generator right now are cold, which kind of sucks. So when you are doing research, you'll see that you have a research tab down here. You get a percentage with the gear, which is kind of nice. Lets you know how fast your research is going. We have another coal pile depleted. So at this point, we need to start getting into the habit of researching our coal pile and our sawmill, because we're really going to need to get people on the same page with that. Let's get this all these guys working back at this coal pile here. But once we get the beacon set up, I mean, that's our main quest right now. We got to get that going. Let's throw... No, we're good at the cookhouse. I mean, they're keeping up. We don't have any more engineers for the medical post, but they're only treating 3 people. Are they still rated chilly? It is. So it's telling me that you can actually throw this thing into overdrive for a little while, and that will heat everything up for a bit. So let's see here. Yep, so this has been brought up to livable. And this one is still cold. I thought that might be brought up to chilly. But you got to be careful with the overdrive because you actually have a... oh, we got something out. Oh, here. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. We'll do what we can. Well, we're building the beacon right now, lady. Don't worry. Where were we? Oh yeah, so with the overdrive here turned on though, you'll notice that there is a generator stress level. If this red goes all the way to the top, your generator will explode, and that is not good. You do not want that to explode. So I'm thinking as soon as... yeah, those are still cold. The citizen now is gravely ill because they got mild frostbite. So people are getting really sick because the 2 tents out here are still cold. One of our people has become gravely ill due to frostbite. This will keep happening if people have to work in such cold. We must do something. But what can we do? Let's go to the Book of Laws. We haven't signed a law yet, so let's see what we can do here. Let's see. Emergency... I can't speak tonight. Emergency shift. Soup. We don't need food. Radical treatments. The gravely ill will be treated in medical post. Hope will rise slightly. 30% of gravely ill treated in medical post will be left as amputees. So your workers do have the chance of becoming amputees if they get frostbite or get hurt. And if they do, then they won't work as much. But all hope is not lost because later you can actually create prosthetics for these people so that way they can continue working later on. We also have sustained life. So we can't cure the gravely ill, but we can at least keep them alive. We won't risk dangerous amputations with radical treatment. So we have the... no matter what we pick here, discontent is going to rise slightly. So I think we're just going to go the radical treatment route here. We'll amputate if need be. Discontent actually went out quite a bit there. And someone said, at least we'll be saving lives. I just hope they won't cut my leg off if I fall ill. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Let's get another engineer here in the workshops to speed things along with the researching, because we need to get that beacon built. That way you guys can see some of the exploring stuff, which is a lot of fun. Let's see. We do have some workers present, but... Alright, we are waiting till here, when the temperature will rise back and make things warm again. So I'm thinking, once we get through this research with the beacon, we're probably going to update our heaters here, because you can actually turn on heaters in different places if the place is too cold. It'll help people work and everything like that. So here's a steam hub. When it's powered by a generator, these contraptions create additional smaller heat zones around them. Each active steam hub consumes 3 coal per hour. So keep that in mind, because that could be a big thing. But we have so much coal right now. I think we're going to be okay. I'm just waiting for this research to finish. It's taking so long. Oh man, wood crates have now depleted over there. Let's do this research first. Right, 99. There we go. So now we can build the beacon. Let's do the steam hubs here. Let's research those. And let's build ourselves a beacon. This beacon is actually very cool. I think you guys will enjoy seeing this. And let's see. We are at 9%. And we're still doing okay on the overdrive thing. So we will let that kind of go for now. But we got to get our guys working on the wood crates here. So let's see. Wood crates. There we go. Get you guys all working there. We're going to take our engineers back. I'll just put the workers there. Wood crates are over here as well, so let's get them over there. And right now it's free time, so while things research and do their thing, we don't have any raw food for them to turn right now, so they're not currently working. Let's go ahead and fast forward. There we go. The beacon is now built, though. So now with the beacon, you'll see here, the hot air balloon blows up, and it awaits us going out on an expedition. We're trying to find resources, we're trying to find people to bring back. And all of these things are going to be helpful to keep ourselves running here. There we go. So now that it's popped out, you can actually see that we have two different places to go. We have the Lost Expedition and we have a gloomy cave. So these will sort of randomly pop up and you'll have different things to go to. Sometimes you go to them and there won't be anything there. You'll have wasted your time. And other times you'll go there and you'll find a plethora of things and new people and everything. So there's a lot of cool things that could happen. But first things first, you need the workers and you need the wood to actually fill up with it. So we need 5 workers. So let's pull these guys from there. And we are going to send them to the Lost Expedition. So you hit this. And then now the balloon is heading out to the Lost Expedition. You'll see up here in the top right corner, we have about 11 hours to wait to hear back on what they're going to find. Actually, they'll let you know that they arrived, then you have to tell them to explore, which seems like kind of a weird thing to do because, you know, once they get there, you think they would just start exploring to find what they need to find and let you know what they find, but apparently you need to tell them. People cheers. A giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done to make it happen. Volunteers have lined up, eager to go looking for our lost people in Frostland. The woman who came forward earlier is among them. So the story does continue on as you play. So people who talked to you earlier, they do come into play later in the story, which is kind of fun. So we got 5 gravely sick. We got 8 sick and 5 of them gravely. You can actually see that easily by the 8 that's at the top here, and then there's a 5 at the top there as well. But it's crazy. it's very crazy that we have 5 gravely ill. I mean, those people may not make it if we can't get that thing researched quick enough. Those guys are going to go out hunting, so let's fast forward time here. I have a feeling by morning we're going to have like our first dead person or something because they are so sick. We keep getting more and more sick people. I guess really the more important thing to do would have been to like build all the tents here as I can. So if I have to end up playing another game of this, if I lose this one, I might build all of the workshops and everything on the outside and build all the tents on the inside, so that way they're all healthy, you know. Well, no one's gravely sick now, so that's good. And as of right now, it is work time. Okay, so these guys have now landed, so we click on them. And we gotta tell them to explore. When they explore, we enter the camp. Appearing out of the driving snow, a choir of excited voices welcomes us. So basically, they're, thank God we found them, right? So you have the option of sending the survivors to the city yourself or escorting them back. So if you send them back to find it on their own, you have the risk of them getting lost or you losing resources in the process. But you can send your expedition immediately out to another thing. However, if you have the option of escorting the survivors back, and if you escort them, you get everything you see here, but your expedition will also be tied up coming back. So I'm actually going to go with escort here just to be safe. Not sure why it takes like 11 hours to get out there and only 5.5 hours to get back, but I'm not going to complain here. But you can see here we now have a crash site to explore, and we have a sturdy shelter to explore. So things keep popping up to explore. I actually need to shut off the overdrive on this thing because it is getting way too hot, and hopefully that will deplete over time. Because, woof, man. Alright, how are we doing on the research here? The research is taking a while. We're full on engineers as well. Alright, we need to pull some guys off of coal and again get back to let's see. Get back to wood pile here. Where's the wood pile? Here we go. Nope, that one is full. Steel is full. Wood crates, here we go. Have 4 guys on that. And I think I am going to put the rest of these engineers on the steel because it looks like our steel is diminishing a bit. We can probably actually pull a few more dudes off the coal for the wood here. Here we go. Alright, we're at 75%. Let's get that percent up so we can build one of those. There we go. And they have returned, so we got 22 workers, we have 4 children, and we have 9 engineers. So we got a lot more people, but that also means we need to build more tents. So before we build the tents, though, they're going to be homeless for a little while. And I love this cinematic that they put in place here. And of course, the reunion. You see families getting back together who lost each other. And don't worry, we'll look for the others because there's more people who are missing. So, as of now, we want to build one of those heaters. Let's see if we can get in there and build one. A steam hub. So you can see the range in which this thing can be built. But we got to make sure we build the street first. Our people found a trail leading into the wilderness. We should follow it. We must find other people and ask them for help secure our survival. All right. So they're talking about the sturdy shelter here. So let's send the scouts here. And there we go. That is a long excursion. You can see it's almost 22 hours. So they're going to be gone for a while. Which gives us a little bit of time to figure out what we're doing here. So let's build the road. And we'll build that there. And then we will take this and build the steam hub. Okay, it's not adjacent to a street yet, so we gotta wait till the street is built. Then we can build that. But people are homeless, so we need to get some homes built as well. We'll build those as soon as this hub is set up. Once these streets are built and the hub is set up, then I think we'll have some very, very happy people. And yes, it does look like the overdrive is diminishing on this a bit, so that's good. Yeah, those went down immediately to chili, so that is not great. But don't worry, people. I got your back. We're working on it. Alright, we're still during work time here. Do they get these streets built? They're still building them. Let's fast forward. There we go. Streets are being built. Let's get our steam hub up. There we go. So you see how it's adjacent to the street here? So that will encapsulate those two there. So we'll build that steam hub there. And we will build a tent here for the new peeps. So we're gonna be building fools tonight here. Oops, let's head back. I want to build at least one more tent next to this one. So we've completely filled up the streets that we just built there, which is totally okay. If we keep this one area with steam hub stuff, you know, keep that one warm area where people can live and everything, it's probably the best route to take. Looks like our crew has about 15.5 hours left. And is the steam hub built? It is. And these have gone up to chili, which is not exactly what I was expecting. I was hoping that was going to bring it up a bit more. So that's always working 24 hours a day. So we might have to build another one of those. But we do not have the steel for it, so we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. But at least they'll be in chilly conditions and not cold conditions. That's the important part. Actually, in just a second here, the temperature is going to rise 1 level, so I think everyone's going to be safe. So that's good. Alright, we're on free time here, so let's go ahead and move along. Oh, looks like we got our first amputee here. So, the first amputation. To save this patient's life, we had to perform an amputation. As a result, this person won't be able to work, so we lost a worker, which sucks. We must do something about it. So, what we could do here is we can actually build a care house, which will lead to us also creating a prosthetics division. So we can give people prosthetics so they can work again. And you see people react in certain ways. It's the best we can do for them right now. They'll just have to hang on until we come up with something better. So, ain't it the truth, right? So we have 2 days to build a care house. So I guess we'll just get on that now. Got another street going that way. And there's the care house, so let's put that here. And that will get built here pretty soon, hopefully. And once we get enough steel, we're going to build another one of those steam hubs too, just to be safe. And right now it is the morning, so let's go ahead and fast forward to when they go to work. There we go. Wasn't fast forwarding at first, but now it is. Alright, so it's, believe it or not, getting warmer. It's still minus 30 Celsius, but it's warmer than it was, so that's the important part. Care house promise is fulfilled, and hope now rises. So discontent goes down just a bit, which is great. Let's get our steel production going up here a bit. We got the workers for it. And what do we want to do next here? Let's see, we got 14. Did we finish our research? We did. Yeah, we should really keep up on the research here. So what we want to get now, we probably want to work on these. We got steelworks, sawmill, and coal thumper. We got tons of coal. Let's get the sawmill first. Let's get that going. Then we'll probably go steel and then coal, maybe. We have a ton of coal as it is, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's see. That place is very livable. These are very livable here. But we're going to have to build some more steam hubs to make sure that those things are warm once the weather goes down, because in well, just a short amount of time here, it's going to drop one more. So we need 20 steel. We're 2 away. Alright, let's fast forward here. There we go. Let's get our next steam hub set up here. We will put it, because that's going to be in the circle no matter what. I want to try to get as many tents and stuff in the area as we can. Let's put a steam hub there. Luckily, these steam hubs don't need workers to keep going, because some of the buildings you put in, the smaller ones, they still need workers inside them to keep going. Which can be pretty annoying sometimes, because it's like, I need the workers for coal or whatever else it is, you know? Let's see, we got a street here that we can put in. Oh, and the scouts have reached the shelter. Let's have them explore. The shelter is comfortable and well equipped with emergency supplies. There's a notice posted by the heavy round door. To all scientists, if you use any supplies, remember to notify the quartermaster upon your return to the city. This means there's another city out there. Wow. Who would have thought? The signpost by the trail points in 2 directions. London, 1,900 miles away. Home, 27 miles. All right. So let's take all these resources, because, man, look at the amount of trees we're going to get. 222. That's the steel bridge. They are currently waiting. Why are we waiting? I guess they're gathering, right? They have a journal. We secured it. Okay. So we have... Okay, so now I just got to tell them where to go next. I guess we're going to send them to the steel bridge now. instead of coming back, because they're closer to the steel bridge now than they are home. It's probably a good idea. And we're still doing okay back home. I built this road here because we need to get another tent built here. So let's build that there. Wait till the street is constructed. Wood crates depleted again. Alright, tent. Street is not connected to the generator. Oh, that's interesting. There it is. Sometimes when things are in the middle of being built, they don't tell you like everything you need to know right off the bat, which can be a little annoying sometimes, but not too big a deal. Alright, I have a lot of sick people. I have a feeling they're going to be asking for, they're going to be asking for another medical post soon. But hey guys, you know, I could play this game all night. I'm having a ball with this game. Like I said, I'm not usually into civ games. I'm not usually into simulation games. I do like tycoon games. And here, actually, we're gonna save where we are here because I feel like we're doing pretty good. But again, I could just keep playing this all night, guys, because I'm having a great time with this. This is a game that I'm really glad that I didn't completely overlook. I overlooked it a few months ago because it didn't look like something I'd be interested in. But I'm so glad I had the chance to play this because, you know, I'm on my third night straight of playing this, and I'm just having a great time with it. It's interesting because every time you play it, you always want to come back to it, and you're like, okay, I want to see what I could do if I do it faster this way, or what if I collect this quicker this time than I did before. And you want to keep seeing how much further you can go until, you know, you reach some of those other scenarios that are actually unlocked within the game and everything. The other interesting thing too is that I actually played this game for 2 hours over the past couple nights, and I haven't unlocked even one achievement over Steam. So that really tells you something about this game, is that they want this to be a hard game. They want the achievements to feel like achievements. So if that sounds like it's the kind of thing that's right up your alley, is a hard PC game that knows it's hard and knows that, you know, it's challenging you to get all of these achievements and whatnot, this might be the game for you. And it's definitely been a game for me that I'm really enjoying. This again kind of came out of nowhere for me, and I'm really glad that I took you know, a chance and actually purchased it to play. But regardless, everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube, and also check out my Steam group on Steam, because I'm trying to get the member count up on that as well. But regardless, GG everybody, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.
GRC.